Good afternoon, everybody. It's Brad Wick with Wicked Lines, and I'm coming at you today from our home studio here in Gulf Breeze, Florida. We have put together our studio, not just for me at Wicked Lines, but also my wife with her dietmatchmaker.com site. So if you ever get a chance, check out her site and support her too. But just want to chat, hey, look, we're all on stay-at-home orders. So another 30 days of this bullshit. And I call it bullshit because there's nothing that I practice more with social distancing is when I'm fishing on shore. We are the best at it. Shore fishermen, we don't want to be close to each other. So we spread it out. And but anyways, we got to do what we got to do. We got to do what it will take to eradicate this pandemic and, ensure that the future is safe for everybody out there. So as much as I think it is bullshit, I also think that it's the right way to go to, ensure the safety of the people in our communities. So I hate it because I want to be out fishing and I can't. And that's when I get uptight because a lot of us, we love our fishing. We love, that's what we wait for all year long is the pompano to start running, the kings to start running, cobia to start running. We are anxious. This is that time of the year that we are out there. This is our fishing time and it's been taken away from us. So yes, we are a little bit angry and upset, but the good thing is we'll deal. Just wanted to talk to you guys and just say, hey, look, I support every one of you, everybody that, and I appreciate the support I get right back, with all of the stuff that's going on. So let's work together and we'll make it together. So on with the other things that I wanted to talk about today. First off, no matter what, some of the things I talk about when it comes to my gear I use and everything else, I want to stress first off, buy local, support your local stuff, and if you have to go outside of your locality to buy some gear or buy supplies, that should be your last, your last resort or your second option. Because I support all my local bait shops. They've taken care of me over the years since I've been fishing, and I want to take care of them right back. They're great people. They're people I see every day, so I want to know that when I go by them, we all feel good about, what we're doing, and I know I can walk in and I can ask a question and I get the answers I'm looking for. So shop local and support your local bait and tackle shops. All right, so starting off, let's talk a little bit about when I am shore fishing. Recently, I've started using a certain product when pompano fishing for my bait. Tony over at Fish Gum has just recently put out a great video for a fishing hack about how to keep your bait on your hook, especially your sand fleas. He has a great video. I'm going to link it down below. So check it out. Support Tony. Subscribe to his YouTube site. And, just watch some of the great videos he has. He also has a great product out there called Fish Gum. It's extremely similar to fish bites, but they're totally two different things. So if you get a chance to check it out, if you can get your hands on it, it's hard to get your hands on it, so it's a very tough item. But he's got a video out there about using a sock, the elastic in the band, using the elastic from that to tie around your sand fleas or your live bait that you have on your hook to keep it on there when you cast it out. There's nothing worse in the world is when you just hook up a sand flea, go to get one of them perfect casts. You get the perfect cast and you're watching your stuff fly through the air and you're watching your sand flea fly in multiple directions. That is something I hate. I hate it with a passion, but it happens. So I also come across another product, and somebody turned me onto this. It's a product called Miracle Thread. It's an excellent little product put out by Atlas Mics. You could check it out on their website at atlasmics.com. I'll put a link to that down in the description. It comes in a really neat little carrier with a thread spooler, and you could just pull it out and break off the piece you need, and you can wrap it around the sand flea in the hook, or your ghost shrimp, or your shrimp, whatever bait that you have on there that could fly off on a good cast. Good casts are when you're trying to get it out there to that distance you're trying to get out there. So any of your live baits that you put on your hook that can come off on a hard cast, wrap some of that around your bait, and it'll keep it on there for that cast, and it'll ensure that it's in on the hook when it hits that water and gets to your spot. So check it out, Miracle Thread. Remember, all these products, if you could find them locally, buy them locally. If you can't, I bought that on Amazon.com. It's roughly about $4. So buy yourself a good supply of it. You have it handy when you need it. Now, getting down to my rigs, I build my rigs with a 50-pound fluorocarbon leader. I use a 75-pound test swivel and a 60-pound test barrel swivel for my lead. I do 16-inch spreads from sinker to drop. From drop to drop is 16 inches, and from drop to swivel is 16 inches. So I've got a pretty good leader out there. As you can see, in my time off, I have been building my rigs, which it's fun. Actually, believe it or not, it's a little work, but when you get down to it, when you get done, you can look at that product when you get done and you say, you know what, I built that. I built that rig right there, and if it catches fish, you're going to remember the color scheme that you used, the way that you built it. I do sell rigs, so if you're not up to building yours, just drop me a message and I would be glad to sell them to you. I could tell you a price when you contact me. I don't try to make an arm and a leg off these, just to recoup my expenses and to, a little bit so I can buy more. But I'm not looking to be a millionaire, because I learned all of this, how to build these rigs, from other fishermen, and it's not cheap. Fishing gear is not cheap. This is not something you can just buy every day and you'd be okay. When you start adding these up, the swivels, for how much you pay for a 30 pack, or hooks, or how much you pay for floats, shipping and handling, and the search and the work and everything else. I got my jig that I build my rigs up. I got that plan from Pompano Brownie. He's one of the fishermen that I follow on YouTube, and it's a great jig. So if you get a chance, I'll put a link to his YouTube page down below. Make sure you like and subscribe to his page. Support him as we support all of our fishermen out there that we follow. But Pompano Brownie has a great jig for building Pompano rigs. It's not big, it's just tiny, it's easy, it's right in front of you. You can build your rigs within minutes, and you're good to go. He's also a very informative person. He's been around the block for quite a few years. So listen to guys like this. When you come across fishermen that you can follow and they're doing good, I follow guys like Bama Beach Bum, Kyle for a while. I follow Bearded Brad. I follow Salty. I follow Tony down at Fish Gum, and I follow several other guys in the local area that do well with fishing and have very good points of what to do and what not to do when fishing. So the great thing we have today when it comes to our fishing is YouTube and Google. If you don't know how to do it, Google it and YouTube it, and you'll learn how to do it within minutes. Which all of these tools have been great for me going out to learn how to surf fish. But you don't really learn it until you get out and do it. You could watch all the videos you want until you get your hands on everything that you need and get out there and do the work. You're not going to learn it. You're not going to become proficient in it. So I've always felt that, like, when I watched how to learn about reading breaks and, the conditions of fishing, I actually gone out, walked up the ramp to the beach, stopped before I even proceed down to where I want to fish. I would sit there and scan the beach left and right. I would look up and down. I would look at the water. I'd feel the wind. I'd already know what the water temperature basically is by checking with people that measure water temperature, and know my wind conditions, my weather conditions, and then learn to read breaks, sandbars, your cuts, learn all this, your high tides, your low tides. And when you get up there and start to look at it, if you're unsure what you're looking at, pull out that phone of yours. Everybody's got a smartphone nowadays. Go on YouTube and pull up the video that you watched to learn how to read breaks. And if you haven't learned it, do a search, how to read breaks when pompano fishing or shore fishing, and it'll pop right up. But get out there and watch it and just start to understand. Listen to the person as they describe what you're looking at out there in the water. And when you start to watch that, it'll be like the aha moment will click in, and you'll start to feel it, and you'll start to, get it. So every time that you come out there to that beach, you're going to look out there and see if the conditions are right, and you're going to do it. So follow these guys, watch these guys online, and do the things that are needed so that you can become a more proficient fisherman. Building rigs, I build a lot of my own gear. Again, I do sell them, but it's not for an arm and a leg. It's very affordable, and I make some beautiful colored rigs. I use everything from chartreuse to green, pinks, whites, oranges, yellows, everything that you can imagine. I've got every kind of bead that I use. So I've got several different colors of things that I use. And that is something when I learned how to do my own rigs, I really fell in love with building my own stuff. Mainly because, one, what you put together, And when you're done with it, you feel better about it, because if that breaks, it's nobody's fault but your own. So you ain't got to chew out or say, get my money back. No, you did it. You did the work. So it's your fault. Make sure you're doing it right when you build these things. I've gotten to where I've bought a lot of my own things to be able to build my rigs. So I've got all my different color floats, different styles of floats. And it's just about, there's no one presentation. Colors attract fish. And finding the right colors for the certain conditions is key. So when you go out to set up your rigs on your lines, you look at the watercolor and the clarity, and you can set up and work from there. Change up. If you've got multiple rigs and multiple rods in the water, I usually run 4 to 6 rods. I'll have every color in the rainbow out there running. And when I start catching fish on a certain color, that's the color I'm switching to on a lot of my other lines. A lot of different beads. Of course, I've got my swivels and my barrels that I use specific to the type of rigs I'm building, which a lot of my pompano rigs were all the same. I use a 75-pound swivel with a 60-pound test barrel swivel, and I use a number 2 2-odd octopus circle hook, which is an excellent hook to use for rigs. Keeps that hook nice and straight on the line. You can see that at the top they call it an octopus hook because it's offset, and it's also got the kickback on the hole for where you put your line through. And when that sets in there, when it's out there, it sets more straight, doesn't sit cockeyed compared to the setup. So your bait and everything's going to set out away from your float and everything, nice and beautiful like. I color my hooks. A lot of my hooks that I use, I color them. Which I use a Protect powder paint and color my hooks. I do all different colors. I've got my pinks, my greens, chartreuse. I've even got a glowing hook, my orange, and they come out. You trust me. I would go and buy some shitty hooks to practice on because you're going to throw away quite a few. So buy some shitty hooks, practice dipping your hooks in your Protect and getting used to the heat and everything that you got to use to do it, because you will throw away a lot of hooks. And I'd rather throw away some cheap hooks than to throw away any of these good 2-aught circle hooks that I buy. So, you know, take time, learn your gear, learn your equipment, learn to do your things proficiently, and you become a more proficient fisherman. Also, during this downtime, maintain your gear. If you haven't maintained your gear from last year, get it done. Don't let you spend a lot of money on gear. Don't let it go to waste by not maintaining it, not greasing everything, cleaning everything, you know, getting in there, taking it down. If you've got to change line right now, change line. You've got all the time in the world. Get the line renewed on your spools. Check the eyes on your rods. Make sure that they're free of rust or corrosion. There are tips and tricks out there how to get some of that corrosion and everything out there and to treat them so that they don't build back up. That's another good thing you can find on YouTube. Check all your lures, you know, check all your hooks. Make sure you're free of rust and corrosion on all your hooks, on your lures, and make sure everything's ready. So when you get back out there and we're able to get back out there on the piers and on the shore, all your gear is in tip-top shape and you're ready to go. So again, my name is Brad Wick. I'm with Wicked Lines. Thank you for joining me today. If you like what you've seen here today, please click subscribe down below and give me a big thumbs up. You know, I'd love to share more videos with you, and everybody that hits like on there shows us the support and helps us out later on. I really want to build my video presence. So any tips or tricks or any comments that you have, please share below. Give me some heads up on what I could be doing to do things better for you. Thank you for joining me again, and hopefully in the future, we can all grab our rod and reel and get out and do some fishing. Take care, everybody. Stay safe. Stay in your home. Stay clear. You know, social distance. Practice it. You know, and do it. And let's get through this so we can all get back out there again. Talk to you soon, everybody. Have a great day. See ya.